Hey vinyl community, this is Chris. I'm back to do this video, which is I've seen a couple solo guitar videos. So to add my 2 cents worth in on this, the first couple will just be in support of ones that I've seen on other videos. So this album here, Bolo Sech, Jungle Suite, Brazilian guitarist. Since it's coming up on Christmas, I thought I'd include this one, John Fahey's Christmas album on the Takoma label. Another John Fahey. These are ones that other people had shown, so I'm just showing maybe a different album. This is clear vinyl, silk screened maybe, on from John Fahey. Table of Elements was who put this out. Hard Time Empty Bottle Blues is the title of this. It may be an EP rather than LP, but Peter Lang. This one is American Stock, a guitar collection. On the Aspen label, 1986. And then Joe Pass, Montreux concert, 1975 on the Pablo label. And then the last in this warm-up part is Leo Kottke, Circle Round the Sun. On the Symposium label, 1970 release. So then a few, this isn't quite, I didn't have anything solo guitar by Derek Bailey, British guitarist, jazz avant guitarist. This is Derek Plays Back, or Back Plays. So he got people to write rhythms for him, and then he just played over them. So solo in one sense, but not strictly in the sense of what this video should be. Derek Bailey, Playbacks, on the Bingo label, 1998. And then this one's not strictly guitar either, but Paul Metzger, Deliverance. This is a specially modified 21-string banjo that he performs on. So he's got 3 long tracks, 9, 14, and 31 minutes. So it describes this as droney, hypnotic, raga epic. So Paul Metzger on the Locust music. Okay, and to work our way into some more vinyl. First start off with Sir Richard Bishop from Sun City Girls. He's one of their guitarists. His brother's also got some albums out there, guitar albums. So this is Salvador Kali. Solo guitar. Not really a lot to see. Doesn't even show, the CD doesn't even have any label information on it. And then another one by him is Improvica. This is also on the Locust Music label. Again, kind of plain there, but then actual vinyl, this EP or 45. Sir Richard Bishop plays Sun City Girls, Esoterica of Abyssinia, and Space Prophet Dogon. This is from 2005. Sir Richard Bishop from Sun City Girls. And then another solo guitar, Norman Blake. So sort of old-time country style on the Shanachie label from 1999. Fred Gerlach, songs my mother never sang. So I think this is kind of stretching it again, where it may not be strictly solo guitar. There may be some percussion accompaniment on some songs, or he may hum to himself. Fred Gerlach on Takoma. And there's the orangish label. And I forget what year this came out, other than it says 17 years ago he put out an album called Gallows Pole. More acoustic guitar. Fred Frith, another English guitarist. This is a CD called Guitar Solos, put out on the ESD label, licensed from Rec Records, Eastside Digital. So Fred Frith, Guitar Solos, 1991. Then Steve Tibbetts. Solo guitar on the Frammis label. Yeah, from Minneapolis, 1977. So solo guitar, and he went on to do a lot of duet albums. Him and a singer, him and percussionist. several on the ECM label. Another solo guitar album, Glenn Jones. This is The Wind That Blows It Out. Solos for 6 and 12 string guitar on Strange Attractors label. It includes one duet with Jack Rose. So this is the guitarist from the group Cul-de-sac, who they were strong supporters of John Fahey. So this is an album that the band put out with John Fahey. The Epiphany of Glenn Jones on Thirsty Ear. So John Fahey and Cul-de-sac with Glenn Jones on guitar. And then another guitarist that from that line of John Fahey, Takoma, that Glenn Jones was a proponent of, Robbie Basho, the Grail and the Lotus on a Takoma label. This is mid-60s, again, I don't think it says on here, 1966. So solo acoustic guitar. Maybe he makes some vocal noises on it, but mostly guitar. And then along that same line, Jack Rose. This is Raag Manifestos. By Revolver. In keeping with the minimalist packaging there. So Jack Rose was the guitarist for the band Pelt. So here's one of their albums, Petals from the River. This was on the also on the Revolver label. Looks kind of similar to the Jack Rose solo. So he was the guitarist for this band. And then another solo jazz album, Larry Coryell, European Impressions, 1978, on the Novus label. Poole, a California guitarist, December 96. Put out 1998 on the Wind Records label. So solo guitar. I think he was tragically murdered in a parking lot. He's got another album out there that I haven't picked up yet, Death Adder, another solo guitar album. And more in the folk guitar vein again, Rogue's Gallery of Songs for 12 String by Gordon Bach, on the Folk Legacy label from 1983. And as we wind it down, Steffen Basho-Junghans, This is Unknown Music Volume 1. So this is music for 12-string guitar. Solo guitar. He was inspired by Robbie Basho and took that name as part of his. This is on the Silly Boy label. More minimalist stuff there as far as the packaging. And then we go back to jazz. John Abercrombie. Characters on ECM from 1978. Recorded in November of 77. John Abercrombie. And then the last of these acoustic guitar. This is an English guitarist, James Blackshaw. Oh True Believers. So again, this might have some, mostly 12-string, but it might have some percussion on some of the tracks. (2005). Another jazz album. Ralph Towner, solo concert. Also on ECM. This one is 1980. And then the last CD, Allan Bryant, Space Guitars. So that he's one of the members of MEV, Musica Electronica Viva, from the 60s. So this is 1977 recording, reissue from 1995 with some extra tracks. Space Guitars. Space Physics and Science Fiction in Sound. Allan Bryant. And last two here. Sandy Nassan on a direct-to-disc recording 1978 for Familty Owl. So, solo guitar. There's the label. Picture of him and the guitar. And, oh, sorry. Actually, there's two more. Thurston Moore from Sonic Youth. So here's 12-string meditations for Jack Rose. So he describes the style. I think I showed this recently. Each one of these tracks is named after a style of beer. Mostly Belgian types. This is on the VDSQ label. So on the back is, that's Jack Rose there, with some beers in front of him. This is 2010 release. And then the final one is more of a experimental type guitar, Allan Licht, on Family Vineyard label, 2009. So hand on that side, and a different image on that side. So this says it's his first solo release since 2003. To gently plucked section to a firestorm of loop processing. So like I said, experimental style solo guitar or processed guitar. So there are some other people out there. Lee Ronaldo, also from Sonic Youth, has some albums, but mostly they're not strictly solo, so I didn't show those. The Derek Bailey one, he's got some solo ones. I don't have any. I've got mostly duo albums, him in percussion, him in forget what other accompaniment he has. So that's my contribution to the solo guitars. Like Kamasi said, there were several cheats in here, which weren't strictly solo, but pretty close. So thank you, everyone. See you later. Oh, and speaking of the Belgian beers, this was what I was drinking from the local Straight to Ale brewery. This is called Blood Brother. So it's an 8% double ale, Belgian style double ale with blood orange as added flavoring. So it gives it a nice, almost a chocolatey flavor with that blood orange in there. So thanks, everybody. See you later.